Okay, so I want to share something with you guys that was on my mind. Because I'm all about, like healing, putting others on, and sometimes we're just navigating through life and we don't have all the answers. But when you do get the answers, try to share with somebody because you don't know if they're looking for the answers too. So I've been married for about 2 years. But I married my best friend, and we've known each other since we were five. A little context, we are both Capricorns, so pray for me. But I wanted to say something. I found a life hack. So lately, if you know anything about Capricorns, we don't have the filter. And when we want to address something, oh, best believe it's going to get addressed. But the problem is when you're with a fellow Capricorn, you guys bing bong off each other, okay? And that's our nicknames. I'm Bing and he's Bong, like. So, with that being said, we a little cuckoo. And sometimes we think that we're keeping it real, but quite honestly, we rude as hell. And I've heard that. Oh, you mean you're this, you're that. And I really did have to work on like how I approach things, how I speak to people. And with that being said, we both got that. We both got that real bad. Sometimes I had to just tap his leg and be like, baby, soften that up a little bit. So, with that being said, I had just told him this morning, like, man, you have been doing such an amazing job with me. Like, what you need, like, what you want, like, you want me to cook you dinner, blah, 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 all this other stuff. Because he's made this pregnancy so magical. He's made it like it's so healing. Like, especially being a foster and having like my rainbow baby and all this other stuff. There's a lot of emotions that go in it. So there's that. So I just gave him his flowers this morning. Like, baby, you're doing a damn thing. Like, you're providing, you're protecting, man, I am spoiled as hell. Okay. Real spoiled. But with that being said, a couple of hours later, there was a situation that came up that I wasn't really feeling like that. My first instinct would be, well, first of all, I just think it's funny how, blah, 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 blah. But that doesn't really work with us because one thing about us is you yell at me, you come, if I hear any of those phrases, like it's all about your tone. If your tone ain't right when you talk to me, don't think I'm listening. Don't think you're getting through to me. I'm more trying to suppress the urge to tell you who the F you talking to. Okay? Because it ain't me. You know, with that being said, he's the same way. So in the past, like, we've had our, oh my God, like two January Capricorns together. Like, we, we had it out before and we love the fuck out of each other. So there's that. But with that being said, I was like, okay, so how am I going to approach this? So I told him, I was like, well, look, I'm at work right now, but can we revisit this topic a little later? And he was like, yeah. And he already know. He know my moods. He can feel my energy through the phone. He know me too well. So he was just like, baby, I'm already knowing. I was like, it's cool. It's cool. I sat with myself, made sure I made it home. And then I was like, all right, now look, I do this life hack and I use safety words to let him know, like, look, this ain't one of those things where I'm going off on you. At first, I love you. I'm not trying to be confrontational. I'm not trying to be this and that. And I use safe words like love, like baby. And usually, when I don't get those words or he doesn't hear those words from me, we know it's a problem because we are cupcaking all day. So once the cupcaking stops and it's just short answers like okay instead of okay, love, I'm like okay, like what's up? So I made sure to say that first. But then I start telling them, like, look, let me tell you this. I'm not really feeling this, but you are doing such an amazing job with our household that I don't want to be confrontational, but I want to be able to express how I feel. This is what I'm not liking, and this is why I'm not liking it. But that doesn't mean that you are messing up. That doesn't mean that you're dropping the ball. That doesn't mean that I'm talking down to you. If that man has been putting on for you, but you got a little moment of emotions, whatever the case is, for whatever it is, don't act like he can't do nothing right. That's number one. So when I talked to him and I was like, well, this is what I would like to see from you, and it will mean a lot to me. First and foremost, men go out in the world and they fight the world all day. They do not want to come home and fight with you. Okay, especially if they out fighting the world for you and theirs. Okay, so with that being said, I soften my approach. And women, our superpower is our femininity, our beauty, our aura, our smell, our sensuality, our this or that. You'll get a lot further with a man when you're talking to them in from your feminine approach than trying to over masculinize the situation and be tough like, oh, woo woo woo, all this rah 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 stuff. That's not gonna work. Especially if you have a masculine man. They no, they don't want to feel challenged. And I'm not saying that you can't express how you feel. I'm not saying that you don't speak up. I'm not saying none of that. There's a difference between being challenged and confronting an issue. Okay? So there's that. So sure enough, I had this approach, and after I was done talking to him, I was just like, but you're still doing an amazing job, and I really appreciate everything you do. Maybe we can meet in the middle. And next thing you know, he's like, look, thank you so much for handling this well, because he know how it could be. He was like, thank you so much for handling this the way that you did. um, Blah blah blah. I end up getting exactly what I wanted. Husband happy, I'm happy, day's not ruined. We not popping off in a long drawn out argument or ignoring each other and ignoring each other calls and stuff because now we both feel away. We both feel unappreciated, all this other stuff. So, ladies, lead with your femininity and watch him lead with his masculinity. I'm not saying everything like I know, like everything about marriage. Because I don't. I really don't. Like, I am not your role model at all when it comes to that. But when things help me, I try to say it helped you. So if you know you got a man that doesn't like to be disrespected, that doesn't like to be talked to any type of way, and you're also one of those people, then watch your approach. You can still say what you got to say, just make sure you say it where it's like in a loving way. This is still your best friend. This is still your husband. This is still your ace. Still your blah, blah, blah. Remember that when you're upset. Okay, remember that when, because here's the thing, what if y'all have a big blowout? He's like, you know what, I don't want to deal with you no more. Like, that's it, I'm done, bro. All that, and deep down you still love the person, deep down you still want to be with the person. So with that, that's just my little 2 cents of the day. Lead with your femininity. That's always been how we got what we wanted. Okay, like most men will spoil the hell out of you. They just want to feel love, appreciated, and respected. And also give him grace. If this is something he's new at, if this is something that he doesn't know too much about, it's okay. You're not being his mama by showing him what you like. Oh, I don't want to raise no boys. Da 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 da. I don't want to be nobody's mama. That doesn't. But you do teach people how to love you correctly, and that is okay. Like, so that's it. That's all I got to say to y'all. That's my little 2 cents. But anyway, enjoy your night. Bye.